Now, Judith Browne Dianis, she's Executive Director of Civil Rights Organization, the Advancement Project, which is currently on the ground in Florida, Ohio, and Georgia, working to prevent voter intimidation. And Judy, let's start with this, right? So you've got, people can go to polling places to watch, right? Campaigns, lawyers, different people can go there. It's a public place. What were the kinds of activities that were being engaged in that led to that consent decree that tipped something over from being an observer to essentially engaging in voter intimidation?
Right. Well, in 1982, or 1981, the election, actually what they were doing was that they put law enforcement at these polling places, and they targeted Black and Latino polling places in New Jersey. And so just by force of those officers being there with badges, and calling this program a ballot security program, when in fact, their ballot security is what we would call intimidation. And, and they targeted voters of color. And so, and then fast forward, 2004, one of the things that the Advancement Project, my organization, we actually intervened in that case because the RNC and the state parties, including the state party in Ohio, started conspiring again to do another ballot security program. And what happens is, because that court order is still in place, the GOP has to go to New Jersey and get approval of that court before they engage in any kind of ballot security program. They hadn't done it in 2004, and I'm sure they haven't done it this time.
So they got to go before a federal judge and say, hey, look, this is our plan. Does this violate the consent decree? We don't think it does, but you have to basically tell us if it does.
That's right, because we want to make sure that they are not targeting voters of color again.
So I want to play you an example of, this is a little tape that came through from Florida, a polling place, early voting site. These are Trump supporters outside, sort of engaging in hectoring, I guess you would call it. Take a look.
How many Syrian refugees, Muslim refugees, are you taking into your home? I want to ask you, hypocrite. You want somebody else to pay for it. You're a hypocrite.
Now, I want to be clear there. Because they're standing by the signs, right, we know that they're the legally prescribed distance from the polling place, such that basically that's First Amendment protected. We're talking about people who are actually inside that kind of cordon and inside polling places, right?
Right. So most states do have laws about how close to the polling place you can get, like a 100-foot rule in many states, 100 feet from the front door. And so if they have to stand outside of that, and of course the First Amendment does protect them. But if their actions do get to the level of intimidating people or threatening people, that is where they have violated the law. The other thing is that we have to be careful about people who are inside the polling place, right? So poll watchers, and in many states there are rules by which they have to sign up to be poll watchers, and then they can't be inside intimidating voters either.
Right. You can't have people sort of just walking up to voters and saying, hey, are you registered? Let me see your... I mean, you can't do that, right? Just
That's
to be clear.
right. No, we cannot have havoc and chaos in the polling place. And, and so those are the kinds of things that Bill will be looking out for on Election Day as part of the Election Protection Coalition. Because while we're protecting voters, they are so-called protecting the ballot. And we want to make sure that people don't get threatened and intimidated in the process.
All right, Judith Browne Dianis, thanks for being with me tonight. Appreciate it.